Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. He go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we not talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Aha. Now you not done here, all these bad politicians, then we call themselves politicians.
Is the credo of our republic. It says unity and faith, peace and progress. The truth is, whatever a man sows, the same he will reap. And that goes for a family, that goes for a tribe, that goes for a nation, and that goes for a multinational republic such as Nigeria. When a nation or republic cannot keep faith with justice and with the truth, it will never achieve unity. It will never achieve peace. And it will never achieve progress. Mr. President, sir, one of us quoted from this constitution and went ahead to make prescription for how to move forward. I dare to tell this nation today that this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity. And unfortunately, Most of us in this National Assembly, we don't have the spine to face what we need to give this republic to have peace and progress. What do I mean? This constitution has 68 items. 68 on the exclusive list. This constitution has only 12 on the concurrent list. And those 12 are written so nebulously, so fraudulently, that you know that the intention is to even undermine those concurrent lists. That is why those who want unity and peace in Nigeria must first remember that the name of our republic is not just Nigeria. The formal name of this republic is Federal Republic of Nigeria. Unfortunately, we don't run a federalist system in Nigeria. Otherwise, what is so unique about all those things that are in the exclusive list? We used to have a parliamentary system. And then we wanted unity, we wanted peace, we wanted progress, and we therefore said we are going to go with a presidential system. Honestly, there are many presidential systems in the world that have peace and progress. I can't quarrel with that. But we must put in place the same safeguards that presidential system across the world put in place so that you can have what it needs to run the society. In this chamber, we try to federalize the police system. In this chamber, we failed.
Good evening to you, and good morning to you, or good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live. Someone said, what did I walk into? I read the comments just about now that someone said, what did I run into? You have not run into anything, trouble. You have run into an interesting platform that you are likely going to step back after spending about 10-15 minutes with us or more tonight. So to every one of you who are just joining me for the first time, well, it is meant to happen. Now that you are here, I will advise or plead that you can click on that subscribe button. When you do that, click on the notification button as well. It means that there are many, many other stuffs here that you won't want to miss. And there are already those who are in the archives for your own relaxation and enjoyment, okay? So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Yes, before we go further, let us slap that like button, that thumb up under this video. Come out of that comment section. Yeah, give that thumb up and then subscribe if you haven't. It's going to be a good and long night, an interesting one as well. If you haven't, do this. Very easy. Thank you. Tonight, I want to kind of start this broadcast with a caveat, a sort of a statement that will probably help you in taking in all I'm going to share with you, and then use your own initiative, to process whatever I share with you tonight. Some of what I'm going to share with you are not new. Some of them are. All I'm going to share with you in this video tonight about the recent developments from Nigeria, especially the planned onslaught on those who have been, they have been on ground championing the Yoruba self-determination, Yoruba self-defense, and now that we should, in fact, go for Oduduwa Republic. I want to say this tonight that whatever I say to you tonight, you don't have to believe me, all right? But I can give you a lead into discovering even more if you listen to me with an open mind. I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything, right? But however, the little I know that I'm about to share with you, I think with what you think you know, I might be kind of help you to question what you know with the new things that you're about to discover. And maybe you can eventually probably agree with us on so much of our own, our own stance too. In the situation that Nigeria found herself right now, in the situation that the political criminals in Nigeria have pushed the country to the precipice, the cliff of total, fall, a fall that will likely not just go down without the rumble. The rumbles are already, gathering. The storm is gathering. But those who led this and led everyone to this path, the path of we will never do anything together again. We don't want to have anything to do with you again, right? They may not tell you how deep this division is across Nigeria as we speak right now. But what I'm going to tell you tonight is that because they won't tell you how bad and how deep the division is, they will never likely want to let you know how bad the result is also going to be, because they continue to mislead the people, making them believe that it is not really that bad. Well, I am here to tell you that it is worse, and we are all even underreporting it. Here is the problem. The politicians are going to push everyone further to the precipice. They're going to push many, many people to agree that Nigeria should break up. But like I did say again, just know this. All it will take is just time. We have it on a very good authority, from a very good filler, from those who have been our own, what do you call it, open ears in the war around politicians, the corridors of powers, and here and there. And they have just told me that the plan to unleash never seen before violence on the Yoruba youth, who are currently championing the self-defense in their own reaction to the abandonment of their abandonment by the Nigerian government, where they are now at the mercy of the killer herdsmen. This is their own reaction to that. If Nigeria won't protect us, why are we still part of Nigeria? Do you get that now? Now, I want to let you know this. The people who are going to really sponsor the attack, the attempt or an arrest on Sunday Igboho and so many, many other people that they have penciled down, they are not Fulanis. I want us to add that caveat to this conversation before we go deeper, okay? The governors of Yoruba land, they have received this offer for about 2 times already. They have rejected the offer because of what they believe will cause the ripple effects of if they should and Sunday Igboho over to the government of Nigeria for the proper humiliation and possible, detention. The ripple effect. How are the people going to react? Which part of Yoruba land is really going to really become a big hotspot where the insecurity will become a bigger problem? So no governor wanted to take the risk. So they said no. They will talk to him, and they will make sure that this doesn't or that didn't escalate. So they did try to talk to him. They used all manner of means, but eventually it seems that didn't work either. Because part of what they are telling him is that he should renounce all this he's doing. He should tell everybody to forget about it. But they found out that after 3 months of back and forth negotiation, it seems that it's not backing down. And in fact, they considered the reason why Sunday Igboho is not backing down, and so many other young Yorubas, where they have now dragged Koiki into it. I'll tell you more, okay? So the governors of Yoruba land who have refused to sacrifice Sunday Igboho on 2 occasions when the federal government of Nigeria demanded that he should be arrested. They gave them they gave them that request. We would arrest him. He wants to be, the presidency wanted him to be arrested, but they needed which state is going to hand him over. Seyi Makinde won't do it because the ripple effect, right? But it is now becoming something they have called a sort of a rivalry, where they believe that with everyday acceptance of Oduduwa Republic, and everyday bashing of the political representatives of Yoruba land, they believe that they are now losing favor with the people. And if nothing is done to tame them now, before 2023, which many of them are so eager about, yeah, before 2023, Sunday Igboho's popularity, not just that, right, including everyone who will eventually key into the Oduduwa Republic campaign, the situation may become totally uncontrollable. It is now they are about to act. You are hearing this from me I don't know if this is the first platform you are hearing this from, but I'm going to break it down for you how they plan to do this. Because part of that, of what they want to do to eventually activate the arrest or attempted arrest on attempt an arrest on Sunday Igboho in the next couple of days or weeks. But now that you are hearing it, I'm not saying this to you because I think saying it will stop them from doing it, or saying it will make them now do it, or whatever. It doesn't mean anything. I'm only telling you now that as a caveat into this conversation, there is a plot, yeah, to pick and arrest not just Sunday Igboho, including everyone they are now identifying in Ondo State, in Ekiti State, in Ogun State, in Lagos State, including Oyo State, Osun State, all the Yoruba states right now. The governors are now at the 11th hour of approving the federal government invasion of either Oyo State or so many other states in Yoruba land, and begin the mass arrest, just like you have been seeing them, what they have done to the IPOB members over the years. The reason why they haven't done it is simply because the Yoruba governors haven't really agreed to it. But as we speak now, the spat between the Sunday Igboho's team, as well as all the young Yoruba campaigners for Oduduwa Republic, the spat between them, especially the one they have been gaslighting for the past few days, the one they are accusing Koiki of attacking Alake, Koiki of threatening Alake and all that nonsense they have been gaslighting with their media. They are setting the stage gradually for the eventual attempt, which would eventually lead to war. It will be worse than this issue of Fulani as men in the forest. You can take that from me, right? So they won't do it. It's not that Abuja couldn't just come in and do it. If they try to do that, the ripple effect will be dealt with by those from that state. But they can do it with the collaboration, just like the Eastern governors have collaborated with the federal government, with the federal security, to continue to attack, arrest, assault, and kill every Biafran in Biafra. Just accuse them of being IPOB members, and then the Nigerian military, the Nigerian police can have a mincemeal of you. All of that going on in Biafra land, in the eastern part of Nigeria right now, they are not just going on because the federal government seems powerful. The eastern governors are in bed with that agreement, with an assurance that they can keep their governorship. They can pretend that nothing is going on while the Nigerian army, Nigerian soldiers continue to hunt down the supposed Nigerians that they don't want to break away and start killing them. Do you get that now? We're about to witness that in Yoruba land. So how did we get here? How did we get to a stage where everybody is now saying they want to leave? Don't let us pretend that this just started from the blues. Something triggered it. It is not because Nigeria is now the poverty capital of the world. It is not because of the ruined, destroyed economy only. It is not just because of the injustices here and there that are making many people to say they want to go away. There are many, many reasons why people say, oh, it's either you fix this problem or we should just all go our ways. For peaceful sake, right? It all started from there until it got to this stage where Fulani terrorists are now given this blanket immunity. This blanket immunity where terrorists are being pardoned in Nigeria. despite all the international warnings, warning the Nigerian authorities to tell them that they should man up. If they want to fight terrorism, they should fight terrorism because in the last 6 years, Nigeria has become the destination of choice for different kind of terrorists all over Africa and even across the Arab world. Imagine where you now have the ISWAP in Nigeria, right? Where you have the headquarters of the Islamic State of West Africa province, ISWAP. So America wants them. So many other parts of, international security agencies want them to tell Nigerians that there is nowhere you should be paying any terrorists. You should never be rehabilitating terrorists. You are not winning the war if you are doing that. Look at it today. School children being kidnapped and all of that. Yeah. Now, this whole thing has been going on, and it is now obvious that Nigeria can no longer protect Nigerians. Well, Nigerian government can no longer protect Nigerians in Nigeria because the Nigerian constitution, which should give them the power to administer the whole country, as we speak, the northern Nigeria, which has 19 states, as we speak, 19 states out of 36 states. Among these 19 states, you can barely find any part of this state, especially if you go to the northeast and the northwest today, that most of their local government areas, that is mass expanse of land covering hundreds of local government areas, and their communities are now in the control and command of different terrorist groups. There are no government presence there. There are no security agents protecting the people there. Those who are living there, who remain there, many have ended up at different IDP camps because Nigeria cannot protect them. Yeah, and those who remain, right, are either paying taxes to these terrorists because there is no government in sight at all. This is the responsibility of the government because the constitution says the federal government, the central government, the executive hold all the power. People are not allowed to set up their own security agencies. I mean, communities, different, zones, setting up their own different communities, state police, despite the fact that they continue to campaign for the same thing every election. Oh, state police. Oh, that's what we're going to do. You see, this APC, Egbekegbe na bad society. Somebody asked me the other time, Maiyegun, what is APC? Egbekegbe means bad society. This society of occultic criminals who took over and hijacked government in Nigeria 6 years ago, right? For these past 6 years, they have escalated insecurity, right? Despite the fact that they promised state police. Oh, state police. Every community should design and develop their own different types of community policing to protect and provide security for the people and all of that. All of that have been denied because they don't even know where to start. Now, the same government who invited all these armed terrorists, because listen, they call them bandits. They give them different names, whatever they want to call them, right? These are the criminals who have killed thousands, tens of thousands of people, right? Kidnapped hundreds of thousands of people, right? And they continue to kill thousands of soldiers in Nigeria, but yet you will never see anywhere in any courtroom in any part of Nigeria where any single of them is standing trial for any of the crime, despite you reading about the terrorism in Nigeria. But yet, the same government in Nigeria has a program that actually rehabilitates repentant terrorists. So that is where, when people resorted to self-help where they couldn't set up their own security agencies, right? They have to protect themselves. The government went after them, right? And disarmed them, arrested many of them, killed some of them that they believe were stubborn. And now you have to just submit. So the Western governors created security outfits. There was no other reason for them creating any other security called Amotekun. It was because the insecurity in Nigeria has gotten to this alarming rate that everyone is panicking because everyone can feel it from their own different region as we speak. The Nigerian military, the Nigerian police, you will never see them
in action arresting any of these bandits in any part of southern Nigeria. When they are possibly arrested in northern part of Nigeria, they give them amnesty. So the government of Yoruba land decided to set up a security outfit to protect the forest. It was simply because of this escalating insecurity. Then, because the 1999 constitution says the federal government must approve it. Do you get that now? So they had to put Amotekun under the Nigerian police. And you all know what has become of Amotekun today. We are still reporting this insecurity. It is escalating. And now America is warning that, well, the ISIS are now heading to Nigeria. When they get to Nigeria, when they are already in Nigeria, where do you think they will go? They will go to every part where they are yet to cover. Do you get that now? So Amotekun is powerless, and the likes of Sunday Igboho, who rose as we call them the what do you call it, doctrine of necessity. You know what is called doctrine of necessity? Never mind. What I believe it is that doctrine of necessity is when something becomes okay. Let's put it this way: when what should be or what should be in place to fix the problem, right, is not in place to fix the problem, then you have what shouldn't be in place to fix the problem, but is what is available to fix the problem. So this is how Sunday Igboho and so many other young Yorubas home and abroad became doctrine. They became the apostles of doctrine of necessity. The governors of Yoruba land knows the insecurity problem. They know the perpetrators. The governor of Oyo State in December 2020 came out when he was meeting the community leaders from Ibarapa area. Then he told them, he said, we have a security report that some people, some armed terrorists were crossing from Mali. They were crossing from Mali to Oyo State, to Ogun areas. Few weeks after that, or is it up to few weeks? It's like about 2 weeks after that, Amotekun in Oyo State, exactly on the 7th of January 2021, Amotekun in Oyo State went on an operation to flush out these invading aliens from Mali, as alleged by the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde. Don't forget that. On January 7th, they carried out an operation that lasted for 2 days, according to them, for several hours, and they succeeded in 3 local government areas until they got to the 4th local government area. And when they got there, they encountered gunmen who fought them, engaged them. They killed 7 of them, arrested 48 of them, took them to Ibadan. As the result of those, they have been reporting to be the criminals in the forest of Oyo State. In order to verify the statement of the governor, to solidify to validate the statement of the governor, right? So that was what it should be. That was the success story that should be associated with Amotekun until 24 hours later. You know the story. They changed it entirely, and today they are now telling us that the spokesperson for Fulani terrorists in Nigeria, they are now part of the advisory committee in Amotekun in southwest Nigeria. So that was how Yorubas lost the right to protect themselves, the right to investigate crime and go after criminals, arrest them, prosecute them in order to serve as a deterrent to others who might want to commit the same crime. What is wrong in that? But guess what? Since they won't do it, a Sunday Igboho rose 2 weeks after that, because immediately after the operation, Oyo State government apologized to the now defunct 2 leaders or 2 Fulani amirs in this region. Nobody knew about them. Nobody sold the land to them. Government didn't know they were there until this encounter happened. Now, the government apologized to them. Seriki Igongon, and then Iskili Wakilu. These were the guys who were the ringleaders, who were just like the king of all these characters that engaged Amotekun on the 7th of January 2021. Government apologized to them. The story was buried. We were meant to forget it and forgone it, and people could continue and suffer and die in the hands of these untouchable people. Then Sunday Igboho rose. You know why? Sunday Igboho didn't just jump into it. He didn't jump into it because he believed that, oh, this is an opportunity, let me go and make money. So if they are trying to tell you how the Sunday Igboho came into the picture, there are many, many people who normally, right, would not expect a Sunday Igboho to be the final stone rejected by the builder that is actually going to become the cornerstone. Do you know how many people who have to fight their own personal belief to agree that Sunday Igboho has become a doctrine of necessity? And since its intervention, and let me put it this way, Sunday Igboho comes from Oke-Ogun area. He comes from the Ibarapa area of, Oyo State. He is from the region. His people called on him. They said, well, we reported to government. The government came. When the government engaged these people, we don't know what happened. We thought that was going to be the end. They would arrest all the criminals, and that is it. We can go on and then, go on with our businesses, right? But no, these people have been released, and they are now telling us that we will suffer. And Sunday Igboho was like, how? We were there last year before this government Amotekun came around. We were there and we were able to push these people. But it was, in fact, from our report from that trip that the government of Oyo State and Amotekun worked with to go into those areas to flush out those people. How could they let them back into the area without any investigation, without any prosecution? They said, well, they are back. Then Sunday Igboho, and they even told them that if anybody tried to go there, they will kill the person. That was how Sunday Igboho got involved, though. It's not that he slept and he woke up and he said, oh, I want to go and make 10 million, or I want to go and make 100 million, or I want to go and declare Oduduwa Republic. Don't let anybody use your state of mind right now, because there's a lot to process. There's a lot of questions to be answered. Part of them is that, how did we get here? I just told you. People didn't just sleep and wake up. Nigeria is messed up, not today. But nevertheless, like every other person from every other part, people still feel like, well, they can weather it, they can manage it. But here we are. Even if you can manage what Nigeria is throwing at you, are you sure you can manage becoming a refugee? These are the questions begging for answers. Sunday Igboho did not just wake up in the blues. Maureen Badejo, my dear sister Maureen Badejo, did not just wake up from the blues and started raising money to support Sunday Igboho and everyone who is ready to defend Yoruba land. Don't confuse all of these things. There are some people who couldn't do it or push it to this level. Shouldn't make them so jealous, so selfish and blind by their own whatever, ignorance, whatever I call it. Something took people to this level. How? Because those who were supposed to act, those who had the opportunity of protecting the people, those who had the opportunity of never allowing a Sunday Igboho to declare Oduduwa Republic, they abandoned the people. Never forget that. And Sunday Igboho is not an outsider. The genesis of all this problem, where this whole thing began, Sunday Igboho was from there. How are you sure that he's not lost his own family members? How? 4 days ago, a few days ago, or 2 days ago, thereabout, there's a report that his mom, who still lives in Igboho, his mother, aged mother, some assailants were apprehended who were looking around her property, around her house, to God knows what they are planning to do to her. And what is Sunday Igboho's offense? He decided to speak up and say, well, my warning to every one of you is that if you don't believe that this threat is real, I have been there. He shared the videos. Yeah? He shared the videos of his visit. How they even pulled a gun on him. When the sons of Seriki Igongon pulled the gun, all the videos are out there. So, how did 2023 come into the picture? How did Igboho being a PDP member come into the picture? How did Igboho trying to make money come into the picture? How did people that you now accuse of trying to make money come into the picture? All these events are spontaneous because they have become doctrine of necessity. If we all keep quiet, we all watch our people killed and die. Whether you like it or not, their intervention has led to so many other high-profile meetings where people are now looking into ways. Those who told us to ignore, those who told us that we were overreacting, those who told us that we are trying to cause trouble, those who told us that we were looking for money. Today, they are calling high-profile meetings, locally and internationally, right? To find another way of spinning this, like they have been spinning it from time immemorial. But as usual as well, one of the tactics they are going to unleash is violence. It has gotten to a point whereby it is obvious that with the diaspora intervention, with the funding and support coming from the sons and daughters of Oduduwa Republic, who are only interested in the peace. Let me break it down for you. When people don't understand how divided, how rotten this whole thing, and why people are reacting this way, can't they look for another way? Can't they have another? Of course, people have suggested many other ways, right? You need a constitution, right? Before you can do anything that is illegal. But in Nigeria, the 1999 constitution was written by the military, who reluctantly handed over power to a retired, former convicted, a death row inmate, former general, former president as well. They handed over to him, Obasanjo, reluctantly. But they handed when they handed over power to Obasanjo, they handed over to him a workbook called 1999 Constitution. For 22 years, they have done, everyone who believes that they have solution to Nigeria problem, they have done over God knows how many editing of that military guidebook, 1999 Constitution, right? But yet, it didn't bring any unity. It's not bringing any conversational relationship among the ethnic groups in Nigeria. Nigeria is not one country. If they are telling you that you should keep saying Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria, you are just deceiving yourself. And every solution you prefer, every solution you try to prefer to the solution, to the problem, will not work because you are seeing the problem wrongly. You are seeing a problem of one Nigeria. Nigeria is not one country. Until you all agree that 1999 Constitution that gives them these 22 years of misrule, mismanagement, and total ruin and balkanization. That 1999 Constitution, as much as they try to edit it, it won't work. And it is just the burial certificate of Nigeria. It's just a matter of time. It won't just go down. But I'm going to take a break by having to share this with you again. Somebody who said it in a much better way than myself. If you think you understand the problem, maybe you should watch this.
Founded this country. Those agreements are very clear in their fundamentals. One of them, federal system. Nigeria is today not a federal system. Let's stop lying to ourselves. The word federal was brought to life by the American election. Each state has its own electoral body because it is essentially a country within a larger country. That was what our fathers agreed. Nobody agreed a situation where a clueless man will sit down inside a rock and begin to issue edicts and diktats to every other person. Nobody signed on for that in 1960. All the constitutional conferences beginning from 1948 all the way to the 1951, all the way to 1960, each and every one of them was very clear and unambiguous. Nigeria was meant to be a federal system based on parliamentary democracy. It wasn't by accident that Our fathers settled on parliamentary democracy. They wanted to make democracy as close to the people as it could be. So it simply meant that if you're a parliamentarian, you knew your people knew you. It was the aggregation of the parliamentarians that determined who became the prime minister, and they were also the ones at the regional level who determined who became the premier. So democracy was devolved. It was easier for the people to become involved. What we have today is not a democracy. What we have today is not a federation. We've just become a nation of liars who readily accept every lie that...
Wait for the other parts. Meanwhile, before I play that for you, Peter Man, I saw your question, the super chat. So I'm going to read it out so that I can answer you. Okay. Question, Maiyegun. Do you think that the quest for the freedom of Yoruba and Biafra nations will eventually lead to a second civil war? I am going to say yes. Because every pointers shows that the people in charge of Nigeria, they don't believe anything is wrong with Nigeria. They believe that, the people who have problems are those who disagree with the way they are ruling Nigeria. And that is the problem. It means that nobody is listening to anybody. The people are saying the way you are ruling us is going to ruin us. And we will not sit back and be slayed and slaughtered because of the way you are ruling us. Do you get that now? The ruling class are saying, shut up. We are doing our best to keep you and, to keep the country together united. They don't want to talk about it. The fact that they don't want to talk about it means that everybody will eventually talk about it. Yeah. But before then, Nigeria would have ended up in a civil war. There are pointers, by the way, right now. The only region that is yet to pick up arms, which means that to pick up arms where their own elites are not in control. The only region that is yet to do that, politically right now, is the Yoruba people. We are the people who are yet to politically, make it a political statement by picking up arms and choose a struggle like this Oduduwa Republic and defense or self-defense as well. We haven't pushed it to that stage. Once we become the ESN or become like the IPOB and the ESN, where we now believe that the Nigerian army will push us when they unleash terror on us, the effort of the Yoruba people is that we need to have a conversation. This country is not working. It is not working because if a country cannot protect our own people and the same country is offering amnesty to terrorists, the terrorists they told the country came from Niger, from Chad, from Libya, right? Who are not ready to legally join you in the country, but to violently take over wherever it is. And the government is saying, accept it. Yeah. So the people who are going to say no, eventually, the Nigerian military, as usual, like they did to the IPOB member, like they are doing to the ESN right now, they will eventually do the same to the Yorubas. And that will be us being pushed to that point. The elite will lose the total control. It is obvious now that they are almost losing the control, but not all the control. Let us be honest, okay? But if they push the Yorubas to the point that they unleash the federal government on the Yorubas, like they are doing to the Biafrans, then my answer to your question, Peter Man, is that Nigeria is going to end up in another civil war. And so you can take this from me. There is no country that will survive 2 civil wars. No country in history survived 2 civil wars. When Nigeria goes to the second civil war, it will be the end of Nigeria. And the only reason is this, right? It is not because people who are asking for this conversation, it's not because they choose violence. It is because the people who currently hold on to the rig system, they believe in the status quo. And they believe that everyone asking them to change pattern, run the country right, give justice, everyone asking for that is just a troublemaker and must be punished. So where do you think that will end? People will eventually not take them serious anymore. They will fight back. And by fighting back, more people in the population will harm themselves. They won't listen to the police, listen to anybody anymore. Then what do you think will happen after that? So we are on the journey, on the path to that, except if the politician can see clearly that they can continue to grandstand. They can continue to think that they have the power like they are planning to crush Sunday Igboho and others now, they may think that's the solution, but it's just going to be a quick ticket to that banana republic, the republic that they've always been dreaming to have, not a Nigeria, a banana republic. Thank you very much, Peter Man, for that your super chat there. Listen to Barrister Farotimi again. The second part, wait for it.
Any Nigerian who is still hanging around waiting for 2023 to change Nigeria is a fool. Line 20 Daily Farotimi up and ask them to become president of Nigeria. 20 of me, 20. Multiply their brain power by 10, factor of 10, and then force them to operate the 1999 Constitution with the governance system that is enshrined in it. We shall fail spectacularly. The problem of Nigeria can never be resolved by personnel changes. The system is designed with impunity undergirding it, and it can never deliver anything positive to the Nigerian peoples. Be those Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, whatever they care to be. Make an Igbo man president of Nigeria in 2023 and force him to operate the 1999 Constitution. Complete waste of time. Igbo will continue to suffer the brunt of the wickedness of the Nigerian state. Every Nigerian is rendered stateless by the 1999 Constitution. It is an iniquitous, wicked, and evil document. It has nothing good for the Nigerian people. And the longer we continue to fool ourselves believing, and let me enter one quick caveat. Our rulers are actually very intelligent when they care to be, especially when it comes to their own preservation. And I know as a fact that they are already making noises about restructuring in Abuja. The Mace Snatcher and the Lawan and that one that calls himself Baja, all of them are sat there running helter-skelter, cobbling together some lies that they intend to sell to us as constitutional, what do they call it, amendments. Let's be clear. You cannot continue to build on top of lies. You can't sustain that lie. And as long as justice is missing in a place, you continue to have strife. We need to tell ourselves the truth, and that truth is that the closest we can come to normalcy in Nigeria is to have a return to the original agreements that founded this country. Those agreements are very clear in their fundamentals.
And what were the agreements? In 1954, the northern Nigeria opposed independence in Nigeria. They don't want to be part of one Nigeria. They don't like one Nigeria. In 1957, again, until they were persuaded that they will be taken care of. You know the history. This is not meant to spite you. And when everybody finally came together to sign and agree for the independence of Nigeria, they agreed to be their own masters and friendly neighbors. Do you get that now? So which means Yorubas have their own destinies in their hands. The Igbos have their own destiny in their own hands. The Hausa, Fulanis, and everyone from that region have their own destinies in their own hands. Until they forced one Nigeria on everyone. And since then, it has been a rivalry of death. And here we are. One Nigeria that is about to send everybody to the war that they are not planning for. Or they are probably thinking a prayer will kick away. It won't. Now, let me tell you their plan. Since the Constitution allowed them to do that, written by the military, there was no conference, no national conference, no delegate sitting, no nothing that wrote the 1999 Constitution. It was put together by the Abdulsalami Abubakar military government. After he took his own pie of the cake, his own cut of the cake then. Yeah, or is it called, what's it called again? Cut of the pie or pie of the whatever. I don't know. So he handed over a workbook called 1999 Constitution. A workbook that cannot protect Nigerians. A workbook that makes one singular person seem powerful, where then you have all these Hydra-headed other criminals who are actually ruling and running the country. Even when the country is burning,
They have nothing to do because they believe that they are not those burning. However, it is now getting to a point where everybody should go back to where we all started from. If they are telling you that there's something wrong with where you were coming from, tell them that at least that is the closest we can be to Nigeria to start with. The journey to that is to start the conversation. They don't want to start the conversation, fine. They will have to deal with the chaos and the problem because here we are. An House of Rep member, somebody who is representing his constituency in northern Nigeria, who shared something like this, with the leadership of the National Assembly. Okay, is supposed to be somebody who is in the know, APC member. I am going to play this video as just a refresher. But before I do that, I want to say thank you to Evangelist Olubumi Aladekere. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I know I'll pronounce this right. Ajara Oluwa. Thank you very much for your super sticker as well as the super chats. I'm going to read that out as usual. Thank you, ma. Kudos to you. I appreciate your courage and consistency. God will reward you and us all in Jesus' name. Amen. Yoruba Nation will welcome you. Yeah, Ekabo. Thank you very much, ma, for that tonight. And thanks to everyone who is also subscribing and joining Maiyegun's Diary Politico as a member. You can be a member of Maiyegun's Diary Politico under this video. As much as you can subscribe for free there. You know, when you subscribe, it's free. When you click on your notification, set your notification, that's also there. But YouTube gives me this advantage of having my amazing friends, you becoming a premium subscriber on Maiyegun's Diary Politico. If you see all this, if you see all this green color, all these colors, these are the fans who are now turning to, I don't know, they are like subscribers who are now turning to pure fans now. So everyone is appreciated, okay? You can become one too, all right? You'll see the category under the video. It is just a show of support to say, Maiyegun, we support you. And I do appreciate that. Thank you very much, everyone. Joshua Okpala, thank you very much, Baba, for your own super sticker. That's also $, isn't it? Thank you very much. And same thing to African Wahala. African Wahala is back, right? Thank you so much, Baba, for that. Let's continue. Something led people to say they want to part ways. Don't let us forget that. People didn't just wake up to say, we want to leave Nigeria, we want to break up. Let's be realistic. Nigeria fought civil war. And when Nigeria fought civil war, it was because of marginalization, right? Undermining the cultural value of the people led to what is now known as the Biafra genocide, which they want to call Biafra war. It wasn't a war. It was a genocide perpetrated by a country who could not honor a simple agreement, an agreement that they say makes a gentleman. Honoring your agreement makes you a gentleman. Politicians want to be respected, to be regarded, to be called elder statesmen, but could not respect a simple gentleman agreement. They had an agreement in Aburi. What was in Aburi Accord? It was that Nigeria should go back to the pre-1960, where everyone was in charge of his own destiny. And this time around, there was nothing like one Nigeria. It was meant to actually resolve everything. They returned to Nigeria. They declare war on armless civilians, armless people. And the rest, they say, is history. So after 3 wars holding their ground, they surrendered because they thought it was the right thing to do. So if you have shown them you are a big brother, you care for them, because you believe that they are going to suffer if they have their own country and blah, 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 blah. Now you force them back. Can you now take care of them? Can you now accept them? Now they kept the Biafrans back for over 50 years. They kept them back just to profile them. Profile them and continue to do the same thing that led to the first civil war. Now, back then, some people thought they were better off since they were not Biafrans. Oh, we are better off because we are not this. But guess what?
50 years after the Civil War, right? Everyone is now having a taste of that same injustice, democratization of injustice in that country. Everyone, including Hausa, including Fulani themselves, everyone. But they continue to use religion, they continue to use ethnic and so many other, useless distractions to make people not to see through the charade of one country. Now, that same lie is about to expire again. And this time around, if it leads Nigeria to another civil war, Nigeria is never going to come back same. Because democratization of this injustice in the country, where people have been made to accept injustice as, well, it is just injustice. Just be grateful that you are still alive. That kind of mentality, now people are pushing back. And when it gets to this stage, yeah, what do you get? You get complete anarchy, lawlessness. Is that not what we have now? In the eastern part of Nigeria today, in the last 6 years alone, we were watching the Nigerian military using the hardware, the weapons that they bought with Nigerian money, right? Taxpayers' money. Some of them donated to them. They are not using these weapons to go after those who are kidnapping school children, those who are kidnapping and beheading farmers. They are not using the weapons to search for them and look for them. But they are busy in the eastern part of Nigeria looking for those who are carrying flag, IPOB or death. IPOB, they are looking and making them shooting targets. In the last 6 years, we were watching them do that. Now today, eastern part of Nigeria, those, one thing they say in Yoruba, they say when dog bites person, if dog bites a man, people will say, hey, sorry, sorry, you two, you should be careful next time. But when a man bites a dog, people will begin to say, oh boy, something is wrong, go. Do you get that now? People will begin to say, Baba, what happened? How can you bite a dog? Are you a dog? Do you get that? So for 6 years, we were watching them arrest. They even attempted to kill Nnamdi Kanu. What do you think they were trying to do? Kill Nnamdi Kanu, kill him. So that all these small boys, all these boys who know nothing, they have no idea. They just want to start war. Just kill Nnamdi Kanu. When you kill him, all of them will run away. Is that not what they do? Is that not what they did to the Boko Haram leader, Muhammad Yusuf? Is that not what they did to him? Kill him. What's he going to do? You can never fight government. They attempted to kill Nnamdi Kanu. You say, yay! Nnamdi Kanu escaped them, is alive, continue to torment them, and you are sitting on the judgment table trying to tell us why you don't like Nnamdi Kanu's approach. I don't like his approach. It's so and all of that. Because you don't care about the emotional trauma, the trauma of what Nigeria is subjecting our own citizens into, the extreme trauma that comes from those who survived those attacks, right? You don't care because you don't know and you don't want to know. But what you don't know again is that there will always be consequences and fight back from those who will survive those cruelty. Now, in the eastern part of Nigeria today, they are now talking about unknown gunmen killing the police, killing military officers, killing everybody who is in uniform. Everybody is now becoming worried. Hey, what are they trying to start? They are going to start war. Hey, what is all this thing, all this nonsense? But when we were telling you that Nigeria can at least give justice. Justice starts from listening to people who refuse to be violent until you push them to violence. When you now push them to violence, you cannot sit back and start saying they cannot be reacting like that. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you to say that? We are all here. We were saying it. Kill him, Joe. Kill that useless Nnamdi Kanu. That Nnamdi Kanu. Now we are all sitting down here now. We are about to see them start unleashing violence on the Yoruba youth. Yoruba youth who are now going to identify as Oduduwans. We are going to watch them now. And I'm going to give you a template of what is going to happen. And you should please do not discard what I'm telling you. You don't have to take everything I'm saying 100%. But believe that you are not going to completely discard what I'm saying if you have been listening. That is, if you have been listening. They are going to start some unexplained clashes in 2 states that we believe, in fact, in 3 states in Yoruba land, that we believe this, that we believe that will be the springboard for the the following actions, the actions that we actually follow that will lead to gun engagement, something like seeing the police going to Sunday Igboho's house or double crossing him on the way, on the motorway. Yeah, so it will just look like they were trying to have a chat with him and his team. And Sunday Igboho, using his gra-gra, he started shooting and shooting. That's why they killed 20 people. That's why they killed 40 people. So if they should, at the end of the day, should say, oh, we have arrested Sunday Igboho because it was stopped for a checkpoint or something, they will use their media. Oh, Sunday Igboho and his team, they were stopped on their way to Akure and they engaged the police. The police and the military killed 40 people. I'm saying this because that is going to be the mode of operation of what is going to happen in the next few days, weeks, and months. Do not discard this. Osun State, or your state where Sheyi comes from, and between Ondo and Ekiti State, part of the plan is either to make it look like Sunday Igboho was invited. First, they will do one thing, which is there may be a planned clashes, so to say. So you might just wake up one morning and they will say, Hausa, Fulanis, and the Yorubas are fighting somewhere in Lagos. Something that you will think, oh, that's regular. I hope the police arrested the troublemakers. Yeah? Then, or you hear, oh, they started another fight again in Oyo State. Or they started the clash in Ondo State. They have killed 4 people. Hausa, Fulani, and the Yorubas. Then the next thing you are going to see in the media is going to be Sunday Igboho declared wanted. So people have been declared wanted. So you're going to wake up one morning and you're going to read the news. And I'm saying it to you now. It is not because I'm a pastor, I'm anything, or I'm a seer. No, I'm not a seer. I have it already where people are already saying that the plot, they just want to look for ways. Which one is going to be less problematic? Is it going to be them, double crossing them and engage them, or is it going to be to start a crisis and accuse them of starting the crisis? They will say, oh, Oduduwa Republic campaigners versus Fulani, something like that. They will use their media. So even you who believe and you continue to try to bring yourself involved in Oduduwa Republic awareness, news like that will begin to make you feel like, man, I mean, I don't like why would Sunday go and let this? Why are the why we don't want to be? They will begin to make you feel like you are wrong in agreeing that Yoruba deserves self-determination and self-rule, because such things will happen. You are going to see different people making statements. They are going to tell you what they have done, and people have been arrested, and they will use this event to mass arrest many of our brothers who are carrying the flags now. Shebi, you know that Oduduwa Republic young people campaigning right now, they are not carrying any weapon. No, they are only carrying a flag, carrying posters, and they are sharing flyers. Abi? So you will see with the plots that the Yoruba governors are hacking, and right now they will begin that in the next coming days and weeks, and they are already laying the foundation for that. But I am not pretty much interested in their action. I am more interested in the consequences of their actions. Okay? See, when they asked Bokwari in 2016, when his government secretly kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, who has been staying away from Nigeria for a very long time, visited Nigeria on his own personal capacity. He didn't make announcement of it. So he was in Nigeria and in his own private hired place. The news just broke that Nigerian government have arrested Nnamdi Kanu. How can you arrest somebody that they said because of Radio Biafra? And immediately, the news came and they said Nnamdi Kanu imported broadcasting equipment to Nigeria to destroy and divide Nigeria. So they charged him for treason. So somebody asked Buhari that, now that you have charged him to court, the court says you should release him. You did not obey all the court. That was the early stage, oh. I'm talking about 2016, oh. Okay, maybe you don't believe me. The same Buhari who said somebody who imported broadcasting equipment, not weapon, no, not anything, no, broadcasting equipment, is about to overthrow, to divide Nigeria. I think he was actually right, by the way, because it was just the message through the medium of Biafra radio, Biafra platforms, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself, that today, almost 70% of Nigerians are either asking that Nigeria should break up completely or they should restructure Nigeria now. They no longer believe in it. So I think Buhari was right, but this was the beginning of the terror that is now about to consume everybody. When they asked Buhari, but why didn't you believe in rule of law? You are elected as a government, as a democracy. You should believe in rule of law. Why didn't you just let him, since you presented your case to court, why didn't you let him go? Why didn't you obey the court order? But because Buhari, like many, many others, they thought all they needed was just to crush somebody. See, somebody like me now, I don't even have the capacity of the likes of Nnamdi Kanu. I don't have capacity of the likes of Igboho, but I have this capacity, this too. See my platform, is so powerful that you may underrate it, but it will shock you about the personalities that plug in and watch Maiyegun every now and then. It will surprise you, for real. But I don't have the capacity in any way. So imagine now, I can't get to Nigeria, they can't pick me up. They say because he's using his camera and he imported equipment, he imported a StreamYard, he imported some app, and it's blah, 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 blah. They will charge me for treason. Imagine, treason is that they should kill me, They should kill me for bringing my phone into Nigeria to come and broadcast. Yeah? If you don't believe me that happened, this is what Buhari said in 2016. After rejecting court orders, somebody will say, hey, Maiyegun, this is the new Buhari. See, bros, I understand. I just want you to listen, okay? We know that the real and the non-real Buhari is a conversation for another time. But he said this as a reminder.
Mr. President, the State Security Service has consistently, since you came in, disobeyed court orders. I can mention Kade Are, I can mention Sambo Asuku has about 3 bails and is still being arrested. I can mention Patrick Bole Kemi. I can go on and on, Nnamdi Kanu of Biafra agitation. These people have legitimate bails from the court, and then they're still being held. Are you not worried? And then, secondly, sir, why
we can only take one. I'm really sorry.
All right, sir.
We've got limited time. Yes, Mr. President.
Are you a lawyer?
I'm a journalist, sir.
You want to be appointed lawyer then? Technically, if you see the type of atrocities those people committed, I'm very sorry to say this publicly, against the country. If they jump bail, if say the former president just wrote to the governor central bank and said, give 40 billion naira, 40 billion to so. And then he fills the accounting and you give him bail or you ask him to go and see his doctor in London. While you have 2 million people in IDPs, half of them, they don't even know their parents. Which kind of country do you want to run? And the one we are calling Kanu, do you know he has 2 passports? One Nigerian, one British, and he came to this country without using any passport. Do you know he brought an equipment into this country, a sophisticated equipment, and was broadcasting for Radio Biafra? Which kind of government do you want to have?
But we wrote an editorial against him in Premium Times.
What?
Premium Times wrote editorial against his radio station and called on the federal government to stop that.
So he should be given bail to go away. There's a treasonable felony against him, and I hope the court will listen to the case.
Did you hear that? There is a treasonable felony against him, and I hope the court will listen to it. Well, it's not because he believes in any court, okay? Because when they eventually released Nnamdi Kanu on bail, 2 weeks before his next court appearance, the government of Nigeria, through their Janjaweed criminal military, they moved down to the east to go and kill Nnamdi Kanu. They killed and killed. We actually thought they've killed Nnamdi Kanu until Nnamdi Kanu resurfaced again, and it has now become their own albatross, their own real problem. See, let me tell you something. Nigeria people, the people in charge of Nigeria, they are the true reflection of the people they represent as well. Okay? I'm talking about the majority. I caught a video. As much people are saying, see, who and who should be part of Yoruba land? Who has the right to declare, or people asking that, who has the right to declare the Oduduwa Republic? It is the people that has the right to declare Oduduwa Republic. And if the people begin to demand for it, it is now, expected of their representatives to listen to them. I'm talking about those that parade themselves as leaders, but the division is deeper. Someone was asking me, Maiyegun, you continue to mention 6 states in Yoruba land, 6 states in Yoruba land. What about Ilorin? I'm sorry if you don't understand Yoruba. I'm going to show you a video. It's about 5 minutes long, and it's in Yoruba. It's about a cleric in Ilorin who was using the position of falsehood, position of this same religion, to twist the true Yoruba history. While those who start with him, even though he was talking nonsense, those who start with him, they were saying, Allahu Akbar. I want you all to believe one thing. This particular narrative today is just to tell you how deep some of these charlatans, who sometimes claim to be speaking for God, they have used the position of trust of the people who believe that they are actually speaking for God or intelligent enough, not knowing the underhand dealing of how they are being used to manipulate them, right? I'll do my best to interpret the video. But if you are a Yoruba man and woman watching me, I bet you're going to be shaking your head watching this. It has nothing to do with your religion. I'm happy that I have enlightened people, Muslims, Christians, and even atheists, those who don't believe in too much of religion and love. I've got a lot of people on my page that enjoy the way the subjects are being presented all the time. So this is not in any way to attack your religion or attack or question your faith. But I want you to pay attention to every word this man is saying. He is talking about the issue of who owns Ilorin, who are the people of Ilorin. I think you should listen to it. I will come back. Meanwhile, just before we continue, sorry, I may not play you the entire video, okay? But I will play it to some extent, and I will come in and I interpret. However, we have about 30,000 of us who are watching today. How come we only have about 600 of us who had the time to click that thumb up, right? If you have enjoyed this conversation, and even if this is your first time of watching me, apart from subscribing, yeah, you can leave the chat room just for a second, right? Leave the chat room for a second. Under this video, you will see the thumb up, the thumb down, the share button, the subscribe button, the notification button, but you won't see any of that if you don't leave the chat. Close the chat, and let's do that for a second. Give a thumb up. Let's see if 2,000 of us can actually leave a thumb up out of the 3,000. That would be generous enough, right? Let's do it. Thank you. So it's as easy as that. And also, just like a mid-break as well, by popular demand, before I play the next video, I'm going to use this opportunity to share the Oduduwa Anthem with some of our friends today, especially those who are actually watching me for the first time. Enjoy this. Thank you for your time. So I picked up this video from an Islamic cleric from Ilorin. He's talking about why Yoruba land, Ilorin is not Yoruba land. It's not making any sense from what he's saying. I want you to listen to just 2-3 minutes of this before we continue. I've got a few to share with you as well. Watch this.
Ìgbésí ayé ẹ̀. Àwọn kan tí wọ́n ń gbé Ìlọrin ilẹ̀ Yorùbá níbo ni Ìlọrin ṣe jẹ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá? Ṣé ìlú Aláàfin ni? Kìí ṣe ilẹ̀ Aláàfin. A lè wá Ìlọrin bí nítorí kó súnmọ́ ìtòsí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kí kálukú máa sọ Yorùbá. Àmọ́ kìí ṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, kò sínú ilẹ̀ Aláàfin. Àwọn ilẹ̀ tálàfin gba ìṣákọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo wọn lórúkọ níjọ́ tó pé 1,200 èyí tó lé lórí ẹ̀ ní 1,200 èjìlélórúgba 300 ẹ̀rìnlélórúgba iṣẹ́ ẹ̀rìnlé ẹ̀rìnlé ní èyí tó lé ẹ̀ẹ̀kẹrin tó lé nínú 200 òun lẹ̀rìnlé àrùnléwà ọ̀fàlé òjòlé ó ti kó lọ ní gbogbo wọn ni wọ́n san ìṣákọ́lẹ̀ f'Aláàfin. Ìlọrin ò sí ń bẹ̀. Ilẹ̀ Ìlọrin yóò sí ń bẹ̀. Sọ ilẹ̀ Ìlọrin yìí ṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Tí geographical kìíní tó location tó bá pín wa sí under river Niger omi ní pé tó gbogbo nǹkan tó wà nílẹ̀ river Niger lábẹ́ river Niger ló jẹ́lẹ̀ Aláàfin ló jẹ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá ló jẹ́lẹ̀ Odua. So ìkókúkó ìmúkúmú ọ̀nù. So kò dẹ̀ tẹ́ ará Ìlọrin lọ́rùn kí wọ́n pè òun ní pé kí wọ́n wá jẹ adé léhun lórí. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó wá sí Ìlọrin tó tẹ̀lé ṣé wàá límì wá. Bí Ajíkòbí tó tẹ̀lé ṣé wàá límì wá láti Ṣẹ̀yìn. Ṣé Ajíkòbí àwọn tó tẹ̀lé ṣé wàá límì wá láti Ṣẹ̀yìn ṣé ó wù wọ́n kí wọ́n padà ní.
He's talking nonsense, but I just want you to remember, some of you probably know him, okay? So he's talking about Oduduwa Republic, that people are saying, let us go, this whole thing, let the Yoruba stand on their own. And he's there talking to, he's speaking Yoruba, he's a Yoruba man, but psychologically, he's an enslaved, I don't want to call the second name, he's an enslaved mind. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's not making any sense, but he's feeling good, like somebody who is telling story, history. At the end of the day, He's talking about Shehu Alimi. Shehu Alimi. His name is Alimi, a Yoruba warrior, who fought, and then he gained today's Ilorin. And Alfonja, who also, well, I don't want to go into history so that I don't want to make Ilorin people feel like this is about history time. But however, he's talking nonsense. But what the conversation is all about is, if the Nigeria is meant to be a country, right, or a federal republic, or everyone would have come out and say, we are not Yoruba, even though we are speaking Yoruba, or we don't want to be part of Yoruba. But you see, all these ones, they are those who are going to become the sheikh. They are going to be giving money to work against Oduduwa Republic based on their own religious teachings only. That has no bearing with why people should fight for what is called self-determination. Nigeria can't protect them anymore. You don't believe me? This is an House of on the House of Rep member. Watch this.
Mr. Speaker, where are we going? Mr. Speaker, I cannot go to my village and sleep. I cannot go to my village and spend a night as I'm speaking to you. For the last 1 year, wallahi, I can't go to my village and sleep. I feel very insecure. And this is where I find myself. Mr. Speaker, it is terrible. It is terrible. We have to do something about it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
That's an House of Rep member that cannot go to his village because he's running away from terrorists. The terrorists that are collecting ransom from government, collecting allowances and different things from government. But there you are. Nigeria is so messed up that incompetent criminals who are now the best, probably the best from the country. Even though people say Nigeria is not being ruled by the best, Nigeria is being ruled. The worst of Nigeria is ruling the best of Nigeria. I don't believe that. The majority are just a reflection of their own leaders. If not a director in not a ministry, maybe just an agency that is in charge of food pricing and all of that. In Nigeria, they were asking this, unfortunately.
I mean, you should know what is. Yeah, give me an idea. I mean, with the daily dividend will not be that off. But just give me a range of. You should have, madam. I'm talking to you, madam. I'm talking to you. You should know. No. I'm telling you, give me an idea. You are the MD. Give me an idea. What is maize selling for? I mean, it's around. Maize is going for 80,000 per ton. Let me. Okay. You know that down. Okay. What else did you say you have on there?
We have soya, we have cocoa, we have cashew.
What do you think soya is going for?
I wouldn't want to guess that because I didn't.
You are the expertise. That's you are the MD of the commodity exchange. You have an idea. But maize normally goes for this.
I normally get such data on a weekly basis because we have from the local markets.
Madam, please. I don't want to. The MD of the company that operates a commodity exchange must be informed and have an idea of what commodities are going for. Must have an idea. You may not have them. I mean, you may not have today's pricing, but normally goes between these. Soya normally goes between these. You must be informed. Because the feeling I'm getting now is that you don't even know. I mean, you're the MD of that company. I mean, and we are hoping to expand to that kind of thing. And, I mean, what's cocoa going for? I mean, it's an average person, well, cocoa is going for this, but this, that kind of thing. I mean, it shows how much interest you have in what you're doing. It's not just running the administrative functions of that exchange. It's being informed about what commodity, because how do you interact with people if somebody just comes up to you and that kind of thing? You must have an idea. You must have an idea. All right, that's.
They have no idea. but they are in charge. They are those who are making decisions for the everyday business of millions of people, 200 million people. I didn't say 200 million more, but you know what I'm talking about. But in a country where Yeye Bello is a governor, where Okorocha is a senator, and at the same time, Oluwo, Emir of Iwo, is an Oba, you can imagine what would be the fate of those who are actually going to become the victims of the consequences of their actions too. You've heard what the Oluwo said about the Fulani terrorists in Yoruba land, that they can come and relocate to Iwo. I hope Oluwo is watching. Excuse me. I hope Oluwo is watching me, because we would not want to wake up one day and see the Iwo people running away for their lives. When Oluwo is probably busy doing something else. Imagine where Oluwo himself can... When Baba finished, Baba decided to say he became Emir of Iwo. After he became Emir of Iwo, and declared himself Emir, and he started dressing like Emir. After that, he said everybody should come to Iwo Emirate Kingdom. I am just saying, when you have a country where Yeye Bello is governor, Okorocha is a senator, and Emir of Iwo is a king, then if people are saying they want to break away, why are you holding them? Let Oluwo know that there are those who are still facing, and in every day, it's not going away, the persecution and the assault of these criminals in Yoruba land is not far away anymore. We don't know how long it's going to take to cover the entire Yoruba land. This is one of the reasons.
Now, so now, oh yeah, hey, how about you? Oh yeah, sir. Wallahi, one of us shouting.
If you listen to the language they were speaking there, they are Ijebu. They are from my own part of Yoruba land. Okay? And I'm glad that the video was subtitled. So good enough, you were all reading the interpretation of what they were saying. That is what it is every day. And every day, we will continue to record victims and victims and victims. You see, today's victims, they were yesterday's survivors. Tomorrow's victims, they will be today's survivors. So when do you think you'll become a victim too? When do you think people will become so tired and they will say, no, we're not going to take it anymore? When do you think they will begin to not care how you feel about their approaches? Because something is pushing everyone to this point. People are being told that it's obvious that they are powerless. No government can protect them. Nothing can be done against those who are unleashing this onslaught on them. There's poverty in Nigeria, economic poverty. People are mainly agriculturists. People who grow their own food. People who grow the little to sell, to make small little money to take care of themselves. Now they are losing all of this little add-on that they live on. They are losing them, which means more of our people are going to fall into poverty. So now let's look at it this way. If a governor is collecting his own allowances, collecting security votes, and the same governor is coming out to say, everyone asking the government to protect the people, they are only looking for trouble. They are troublemakers. How would you think a woman like that keeps screaming and shouting that she has no money to feed herself? She has no money to feed herself. I grew up in Ijebu, and I know how the Ijebu elderly women survive. You see all these small farms they cultivate on a small portion of land around their houses. These are little ones that they grow vegetables. They grow few things that they can easily just take to the market and sell. They grow them to feed themselves and the rest to sell to make little money. I'm talking about people who actually grow food to raise the money that is less than $10, £10 a week. So can you believe what it is for somebody who has to raise money, who has to grow food? That she's going to make even less than £10 a week every market day. Now, that livelihood, where government has no plan for the aged, Yoruba governors has no plan for any of these aged, pensioners are unpaid, young people that these old people are even selling their properties to send to school, they are graduating and becoming jobless. They are joining their aged parents in the villages. Look at what it is. Now, do you really think at that time, when people finally lose it, do you really think it would be ideal to sit down there on the judgment table to tell them how they should react to what Nigeria is doing to them, or what they should say to how their leaders are ignoring them, how their leaders are now profiling them? So we can talk, but let me tell you something. On Maiyegun's diary, I can talk as well, but there's something you will not miss out from from my own presentations. Is the fact that what I'm telling you today, the consequences of any action they take, if they like, they can start the war in Ibadan. They can start the attack and kill innocent people in Abeokuta or kill innocent people in Lagos and blame it on the Yoruba agitators or Yoruba campaigners, because that is the plot. And then they can begin the mass arrest and kidnapping of our young people. But what they are going to do is that they're going to push more into demanding for Oduduwa Republic. And like I told you, Nigeria won't survive 2 civil war. I mean, even maybe at that time, the clowns, the opportunists that you found today, parading the corridors of power, speaking on behalf of the people, leading the people down the hill. When the Armageddon comes, it will consume them first. Even this one that is turning into a fighter, maybe it's going to end up as a rebel, not as a governor, as a rebel for Kogi province. In the end of when Nigeria finally break up, Kogi people seem to like him, don't they? That's Yeye Bello. This is Okorocha. I don't understand that song anyway. But finally, tonight, thank you so much, by the way, for your time, for this long stretch of a night with me today. So if you haven't really subscribed on Maiyegun's Diary, I'm begging you to do it now. If you really enjoy your time with me tonight, okay? I'm going to be back again tomorrow. And if you have the time, you can also join me. You won't get to know if you don't set up the notification or subscribe on there. So this is where I'm going to draw the curtain tonight. But before I go, I'm going to add this. We are going to continue to monitor the plot, the plan, and how they're going to execute it as the days, comes by, I would say. So we'll continue to monitor them every day. We know it is not beyond what they will do, but we just want to know how cold-hearted they are going to go about it. And I hope they are also prepared for the ripple effect of that. And as I said, those who don't want a peaceful resolution will have nothing to do to stop a forceful dissolution. So if Nigeria will survive and Nigerians will be saved, I think the conversation around if Nigerians wants to still be a country or not, that conversation should be had now. We're expecting people to conform and then they just play along simply because the people in charge of Nigeria believe that status quo must remain, and everyone they considered as enemy or anyone opposing it is considered as enemy rather, and then they will want to crush them. Well, I don't think they will be able to handle what will be going on in the Southwest. Like they will not be able to handle what is going on in the Southeast in Biafra land right now. Same way they've lost the control of what is going on in the Northwest, Northeast, North Central as we speak, right? And at that point, everyone would be able to say, I don't think we need any government anywhere anymore. Even Yoruba governors, they will run. And I hope it won't get to that. But we know they will be pushed to that because they are considering them as a real threat now, that people are listening to them. And the pressure from Abuja is that, well, if they want 2023, they have to do something about it. Well, if they want to do something about it, we want them to tell them in Abuja that Yorubas want to have that conversation now. We don't want to be part of Nigeria, with the Nigeria that is killing and maiming our people, the one that is turning our people to refugees in another country, the one that has economically ruined and destroyed our people in their millions. I mean, the future generation, the future of our own children is no longer guaranteed being part of that Nigeria. So to continue to be part of that Nigeria, then there must be another conversation, which if we are allowed to decide, the answer will never be to remain part of Nigeria, but there must be that conversation. If they won't let that conversation happen because they believe they have all the answers, well, we can wait and see where that leads everyone. Thank you very much once again for your time. I'm going to see you again tomorrow. But before you go, remember, to every one of you, by the way, from here in Scotland, my friends who are watching, thank you. So remember, if you haven't subscribed on Maiyegun's Diary, you can do it now. I mean, did you enjoy the conversation tonight? If you did, then come on, do this before you go. And if you are also interested in learning about Oduduwa Anthem, come on. I also have the source for that. Hang on. After you subscribe, after you set your notification, then you know what? I will. You see? Thank you very much, everyone. To every one of you who tuned in tonight, okay? If you have the time, wait for the next 65 seconds and learn again the lines of Oduduwa Republic Anthem. Is gonna come. I am so positive about it, right? And I believe you are too. So until I see you again, stay safe and good night.
Kashishe
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òkúra olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹ̀rùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.